to like ghosts in general, that's like a good layman's term word for it, but ghosts in general, spirits in general, um, they just they just show themselves to me. I don't really understand why. I don't know why that is. It's always been like a thing. I'm super sensitive to it. My senses are heightened and I can see them occasionally, when they feel like showing themselves to me, or making themselves known. I can hear them sometimes. And just kind of depends on what the situation is. Hi everybody, welcome in. If you have noticed, by the way, if you were once a bouncer in my stream and you're not a bouncer, it is not anything personal. We're doing a full bouncer reset so I can see if that helps up my views and that helps things. Just because I had so many bouncers, I had almost 1,000 of you guys as bouncers. Holy crap. Wow. So that being said, hi, everybody. Welcome to Uncover Paranormal. My name is Blair Woods. I'm a singer-songwriter, and you guys can find me on Spotify, Blair Woods. But on Wednesday nights, you guys can find me here at 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time talking about the paranormal. And tonight, Bree Baby, I'm so sorry. I had to change our topic. I was going to give you a really good one on a few specific demons, because if you guys don't know, there are actual like demons, and they have names and they have jobs that they're known for, all that good stuff. So that being said, I am not doing demons in the stream tonight. I do apologize. There's something inside my house, and I don't want to provoke it. When we started talking about demons in another stream, it provoked it. So I am at like a good standstill with whatever's in my house right now. We have a understanding at the moment. So it spells positions like Ariana Grande, because my Ariana Grande merch came in today. Where are my Arianators at? Hey. Hi, Sakshem. So Sakshem is one of those rare ones who's still a bouncer. Sakshem, hold your title with pride. Um, Obviously I couldn't delete everybody, but I needed a few. So that being said, we're probably not going to address all the comments tonight, but those of you who are actually interested in this series, if you guys have comments, if you guys have anything that you want to ask or add when Bree and I address you guys, we are going to be reading them. That being said, we do still have ghost story time tonight. I did want to do something fun for you guys. I wanted to do something that was, just I don't know, like fun and spooky, but not too spooky that it would provoke whatever's in my house. So I wouldn't call it a spirit ghost. A spirit ghost. Well, yeah, something. Something. I don't really know what it is, but something. Um, So, that being said, we are going to go ahead and go back over what we went over the last few streams. You guys know the last few Uncover Paranormals. Some of them have been canceled, of course, because we were trying to, fix some things on the back end. And then some of them we had 3 of them in a row that were alien streams. We went over aliens and UFOs 3 times in a row because it was so much. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. If you guys want more aliens as they come, if I see any more things to do with aliens, Alice and I will partner back up and we'll do another alien stream. That being said, Bree Baby, thank you. We are going to welcome Bree Baby. Bree Baby, in just a minute, I will have you in the box. Bree Baby is our guest tonight. I need you guys to show her so much love, and I need you guys to favorite, and don't forget to check her out as well. Tonight, we are going over 2 different topics. We are going over 2 stories. I guess not 2 different topics, 2 different stories, both having to do with ghosts. So, what we do in Uncover Paranormal, by the way, welcome, is we basically go over a topic or a story, depending on what the night consists of. And I tell you guys the story. I let the guest and you guys know, the background, if I can find anything on the story, or if it's just a story in general, the background I have on the paranormal. And then from there, I see if you guys believe in it or not. I see if you guys see if the story is plausible. So I'm going to read you 2 different types of ghost stories tonight. One is called Ghost Bro, and one is called The Whisperers. I have it on my computer because it was a lot to write, and I'm not going to lie to you, I've got nails, so I can't write right now, so I typed instead this time. So it's going to be a little different. It's up on my computer instead of my notepad. This is all in good fun, guys. We're not doing any summoning. We're not going to provoke whatever's in my house, and go ahead and I do not want anyone to take any negative energy. If there is a negative energy from my house, that negative energy is not allowed to affect any of my viewers tonight. Whatever is in my house is going to stay with me on my end. It is not allowed to affect any of you guys. Kate. So that being said, Tigress, I am not sending it your way. That is no. I'm dead. So we're not doing any summoning. We're not doing anything like that. I don't do summoning. That's not something I do as a clairvoyant. I don't like to dabble in that stuff. I don't do that. That's not what Uncover Paranormal is. It is simply just seeing if you guys believe in whatever stories we come up with. So that being said, thank you, Paul. That being said, I'm going to go ahead and have Bree Baby come in the box. Again, this is Uncover Paranormal. So if you guys don't like the paranormal, then this isn't the show for you. Come back on another weekday when I'm just singing. I am a singer-songwriter. You can find me on Spotify. Go follow me there. My music's pretty good. So we're going to go ahead and let Bree Baby come in here. Hello, love. How are you?
So I'm not gonna lie, I'm so excited. You're like, let's not do demons because that's one thing I don't like even talking about. Yeah, I'll mess with Krampus and all that stuff. There's certain things I don't mess with, and it's demons. Mm-mm.
Same. So I was going to go over, because normally I don't like to mess with them or anything like that, but I don't mind going and like telling history of actual like like Greek goddesses and like those kind of
Yeah,
demons.
no, I can agree with that. That's awesome.
But because I have something in the house, I don't want to like evoke it, because we started talking about we started going into depth about demons in another stream, and it like didn't like that. It started moving things, and then eventually when we did a spirit box, it said my real name, not my stage name, in the spirit box, which no one knows my real name in that stream. So I was like,
Excuse me.
cool. So I got something in the house that I got to sage out. Love that. So welcome. Hi.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it, sweetheart.
Thank you for being here, guys. Do not forget to favorite Bree Baby. She is phenomenal. She's another streamer here on Meet Me. She is such a sweetheart. So Bree, do you believe in ghosts? Do you believe in spirits?
Absolutely.
Love it. You guys in the comments, do you guys believe in ghosts? Do you guys believe in spirits? You can answer as you guys go. Thank you guys, by the way. I love it. We're getting a lot of yeses. We're getting some no's. Miss Tigress is just saying no because she wants to see a demon really bad.
I wouldn't recommend it, but
I wouldn't recommend it either, but she wants it so bad.
Whatever you're into, honey. I mean, we all got weird fetishes, you know. I mean,
oh my goodness. Okay.
I would not recommend that one though.
She said, "I'll believe it when I see it." Oh God. Okay, so normally I have pictures up for you guys. However, since this is just simple ghost stories, it's just ghosts. So I mean, you guys know like what a ghost looks like. And if you don't, there's an emoji right in my name. Boo. That's what it looks like.
I didn't swear. Sorry, my bad.
You're good. So that being said, I have 2 stories for you tonight, and we're gonna dive in and see if they're plausible, if they're real, because you know sometimes these stories are like really believable, and then sometimes these stories are like that's fake. So this is kind of a blind reaction, if you can say, of sorts, for me as well, because I wanted to also kind of see if I believe it's real. I wanted to be in it this time with you guys, since I had all my demon stuff kind of canceled. So this is a blind reaction, essentially, for all of us, unless you've heard of these stories. I feel like the one I've heard, I feel like skimming through it, I've heard it before, but I haven't read it in full because I wanted it to be like genuine. So we're gonna go through. The first one is called Ghost Bro, and the second one is called The Whispers. And at the very end of this stream, oh no, Bree Baby, come back. So at the very end of this stream, Bree and I are going to tell ghost stories as well. All right.
I had 2 devices in your room because I was gifting from one. So,
okay.
And I left the room with it, and I was like, wait, what the hell?
You're good. We're good. I'm so Okay. So
Yeah,
the
I'm not
first
good at
one
that.
is called Ghost Bro. The second one is called The Whispers. And I'm pretty sure skimming through The Whispers, I've heard it before, but I'm not 100% sure. So this is going to be a blind reaction essentially for both of us. And we're going to debunk these. We're going to see if we can debunk these or if they're real. And
All
so
right.
with your belief in ghosts and spirits and my belief, and I don't know if you're clairvoyant too, but with me having seen ghosts and talked to ghosts before, um, we're gonna debunk these.
So I've seen them. I don't consider myself clairvoyant at all, but I'm also very into science, so I'm very skeptical of certain things.
I love it.
So
Okay.
it should be interesting. I see two
Be
sides
fun.
of this fence.
This will be fun.
Extremely.
We're gonna have you, if you have a ghost story too, we're gonna have you tell it at the very end of the stream. So you guys stick around to the very end because we've got lots to unpack in this stream. I don't know who said twerking ghost, but I'm here for it. Anyways, so this first story is called Ghost Bro. Normally I write them out, but this is a very long story. These are like thick stories, so I typed them out instead. So I have my notes open right here, and I'm just gonna read from my notes. So that's why if I'm looking up here, that's
You're good.
looking at my computer. All right. So for those of you who don't know, this is Uncover Paranormal with Blair Woods. We do this every Wednesday night at 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And we've got Bree Baby in the box today. Don't forget to favorite Bree Baby. Do not forget to favorite Bree. I just said that. Do not forget to check out Bree Baby. There we go. English Blair. Let's do it. Let's do it. All right. We're going over some ghost stories tonight, guys. The first one is called Ghost Bro. I'm going to read it out. I'm going to tell the story, and then we're going to see if we can't debunk it or if we think it's real. And that goes for you guys in the chat as well. So,
Yeah, y'all don't have to go crazy with the oranges. That's not tonight. You don't have to do that. Just listen, be part of it, y'all.
they can send oranges if they want. It's all good. Okay. So, I'm going to put on my best storyteller hat. This is called Ghost Bro. My house was built in 1904. It is a single family home, wood frame setting on a concrete block foundation. I have been living here for about 12 years. Of all the weird things that my siblings and I have seen or heard in this house, one event is my favorite. This happened to my brother. About 10 years ago, my brother and his best friends had started a garage band playing mostly Spanish rock, alternative music, but in Spanish. His friends could only get together on Sunday afternoons. They would practice in the early evening and they would usually call it quits by 8 p.m. This was the time I usually showed up and went to bed because I worked the graveyard shift. This happened in late fall, so the days were getting shorter and they had just finished a long session when the decision to head to someone else's house had come about. My brother handed his keys to his buddy so that they could load up the equipment. Everyone had filed out of the basement, but the tricky part was that they need to walk all the way back to the basement, up to the back stairs, through the kitchen doorway, down the hall into the living room, and out into the front porch. That's a lot. It's a lot of work if you ask me. Everyone was outside sitting in my brother's truck waiting for him. My brother was walking up the back stairs when he remembered that he had left his pancakes to go in a container sitting on the speaker in the basement. He made the decision to go back. Now, the basement door is not clean. With full sight lines, there had been partitions made, and the boiler main heating unit are right smack in the middle. So after my brother walks back, he is about to retrieve his food container when out of the corner of his eye, he sees it. It's a shadowy figure right at his peripheral vision. This feeling of dread and uneasiness washed over my brother. We had been taught that if you are in the presence of a spirit or a ghost and you felt a bad vibe, to say a quick prayer or to cuss at it. My brother, by the way, as a clairvoyant, don't cuss at spirits. Please don't do that. Don't do that. That, like, you have to treat spirits in general, whether they're good or bad, like they are human beings. Because, even if they are terrible spirits, like, you don't want to cuss at it because it's gonna get even more mad.
Yeah, just don't make anything angry that could possibly, hurt you. It's just
Exactly. Or possess you. All right. So the brother chose the latter, and he basically just told it, "Hey, F you. I don't have time for this stuff." I had to filter it. My brother started to walk to the back of the basement and briskly up the stairs, closing the doors and turning off the lights as he was walking out. The last light switch on the opposite side of the front door. Luckily, the door was open and the light from the street lamp was flooding the living room with an amber light. My brother said he felt something at his back, but at no point did he turn around. As he flicked the last light switch on the living room, it went dark, as did the rest of the house. As he stepped out, he pulled the door closed behind him. Still holding his food container in one hand, he jogged down the front porch steps and he walked towards the front gate. Our house resides far from the main street, essentially having a large front yard but no rear garage. As he closed the gap between himself and his friend laden truck, he kind of smiled and thought over the things in his head, mad at himself for spooking out that there was no reason. He climbed into the driver's side of the truck, putting on his seatbelt and getting ready to pull out of the parking spot directly in front of the house when one of his friends asked, "Hey, wait, what about your brother? Isn't he coming with us?" My brother answered, "What do you mean? He went to work early tonight. He's already gone. Do you see his car anywhere?" The next question they asked is, "So then who was walking behind you when you were leaving the house?" So this story was told in the perspective of the brother that the friends thought they saw, and the brother was at work. And he stated that to the beginning of the
Yeah.
but do we believe it's real? Do we believe what they saw was actually a spirit? Do you think it's made up?
So if it was real, and I'm like, I kind of have to put like two sides into this. The side of me says, okay, well, it's dark, late at night, a bunch of kids that just stopped playing in a band, which means your senses are twice as high
Yep.
because of everything you were just doing. So if they look back and see two people, I could very easily debunk it with they could have seen him walking out and his shadow hit. If
Yeah.
the street light was flooding the house, then it would have flooded him, which would have caused a shadow.
Yeah.
But I will say the detail that's in that, while some of you did say that that kind of makes it look a little like odd and made up, I know old houses very, very well. My grandmother had a house that was like in the 1800s, and my aunt had one in the 1700s. So how they got from one room to another, it wasn't as easily accessed as our houses are now. So to have to walk all the way through the back of the house through several rooms to get to a basement door would make complete sense to me. So
Yeah.
do I think the story is true? I could go with that. I could see yes, but we all get freaked out in the dark. I'm
Yeah.
terrified of the dark. Y'all, I will not walk out to my car in the dark. Not happening.
I think for me, because there's no more to it other than that one instance. And he didn't mention that seeing that shadow had happened a lot. He just said that this was his one event that was his favorite. Like, I think if it were me and that was real, that was a real experience I had, I would have mentioned any other similar experiences just to note that it wasn't like the only time. Because I very well,
Yeah.
like, I agree with you. Like, I think it could have definitely just been their senses like kind of messed up, or it's late at night, like they did say it was late at night, he's going through the front yard, if the street lights flooding down, it could definitely be a shadow, and
Yeah.
basements have shadows. So that's one of my things, is like I always try to look, especially me being clairvoyant and having actually seen things, I try to always look at it from like a logic perspective first, because I know that our eyes can play tricks on us. And I
Yeah.
also am more concerned with a human being in my vicinity, so I make sure that it's not a human first before I go to
I can
spirits.
agree with that. Which is really great that you do that and you're not the first
Yeah.
one to jump on the bandwagon. Like, no, they said this, so it's got to be this.
Yeah, no.
Just
I want to make sure my
break it
logic is
down.
like correct, because it's very dangerous to put in so much energy to something that's not there, because then you start seeing more things and then lying to yourself, and that's when like I've seen people lose their minds. So
Yeah,
I'm always like,
it's the same aspect of like fool's gold. People get obsessed with the paranormal.
oh yeah,
And you do. How often do you guys get into it and then 3 or 4 weeks later you're like, wow, I'm still looking into this right now. Oh my God, I've read this story 17 times. I know all about what happened in Lizzie Borden's house. I know what happened over here. Like,
yeah,
you start to dive into it. It's like the internet hole. You get
exactly.
stuck.
and then you get stuck in it. And then at that point too, that's something really important to keep in mind too when you guys are hearing these stories, when you guys are like reading them for yourselves or exploring the paranormal, to try not to get too caught up in it all at once, and like look for it, because if you go looking for it, you're going to find something that you don't want, and it is going to come to you eventually, and it's not going to be something that you want. It's going to be negative. So you want to make sure that you're always keeping it like super positive, super like light, making sure that you understand that there are logical reasons to why things happen, but also that definitely, the spirits, spirit world is pretty like active around you. It's just not necessarily always going to show itself.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
Yeah. So, what about you guys in the comments? Do you guys believe that that story is real? Bree Baby and I think we can debunk it, but also we think that we think that it could also be true depending on the side, I feel like.
Yeah, I feel like it was probably just overly thought about in a situation.
I think so. I think, and I agree with someone about the details where they were saying how all of the details and stuff made it a little kind of, false sounding. But I do understand from the author's perspective why he would put the details in there, just simply because, he's trying to explain like how they got to certain places and why that person was in certain places. And then of course at the end of it, like what time frame certain things happen at. So I feel like that one could be real, but it also could just be made up.
Yeah, I feel like it could be based on a true moment in time, but
Yeah,
not the full circumstance of what happened.
exactly. Well, welcome guys. This is Uncover Paranormal with Blair Woods, and we've got Brie Baby in the box tonight. Don't forget to favorite Brie Baby, show her some love. And we do this every Wednesday at 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm a singer-songwriter, but on Wednesdays, my clairvoyant comes out. So tonight we're doing something a tad bit different. You guys know I switch it up every now and again. We are doing 2 different story times, and we are trying to see if we can debunk it or if we can't. So the first story that you guys just missed was Ghost Bro, if you guys are just coming in. And the second story we're about to get into is The Whispers. And then at the very end of this, Bree Baby and I are both going to share a scary story, a paranormal story, if you will. And don't forget, guys, we do this every Wednesday. And don't forget also to favorite Bree Baby and check out Bree Baby. We're going to go ahead and get into The Whispers. This one's a little bit longer, but nevertheless, we can get through it. Okay. This is a story that I do not tell often. I promise sincerely that this has scarred me for life. And although I have looked into, English, physiological explanations for what I heard and natural explanations for what occurred, they remain unsatisfactory. When I was a child, I was scared of the dark. I swore to my mother I heard voices in it. They were not evil, but they were not familiar, and so they scared me. It was not uncommon in the middle of the night for me to wake up and hear whispers, and as I would call them when asking my mom. She figured that they were just bumps in the night and typical kids' nightmare material. I tried often to explain to her that it was more than that and that they sounded different from one another in the way that people's voices do. On some nights, I would get so scared from these whispers that I would sleep in my mom's bed with her. It was an added bonus that the bathroom was directly outside of her bedroom door for my late night tinkles. I don't know why that has to be added in, but I think from skimming, I know why. I should add that at this point, when walking out into the hall to go to the bathroom, you look directly down the stairs that would lead you down into the living room for the first floor, as my mom's bedroom was on the second floor. One such night around Christmas, I awoke and felt the need to relieve myself. I walked out the door, distinctly heard the phrase, "Look." And to my astonishment, a red light, almost like a spotlight, was cast upon the wall at the very bottom of the stairs. The light had no other source, it was by itself, and I was transfixed by it. Being a little kid and only being a few days from Christmas, I knew what this light was. It was Santa. Thank you. How else could he get into my house to know I was being a good boy? I was so excited I began walking down the stairs to greet him, picking up my pace after the second step as it began to creep off the wall and fade into the darkness in my living room. That's when I heard him, a very strong, masculine voice, different from the first, Not at all like my father's. Not to say he isn't masculine, it was just distinctly different. It said, "Stop right now. Go back up those stairs." I listened, turned around, and what had happened next I am not sure I would believe if someone had told me the same story. After reaching the top of the stairs, I heard a very loud crash that sent me running back to my mother's bed. I jumped straight under the covers and stayed there the whole night. When we awoke the next morning, the poinsettia lights, the little Christmas flower lights my mother had put on the railing down the stairs, were pulled straight down the bottom of the stairs, some broken from what seemed like a forceful tear, laying in a single pile. The dry sink in my living room had fallen from the wall. My mother could not explain it. My father was worried we had been the victims of a home invasion. My sister was crying. There was nothing missing. Nobody had broken in. Did not seem to be any reason that this had happened. And then I saw it, and I kept quiet about it because I was so afraid that I could not force words out of my mouth. There on the edge of the wooden dry sink, which had been facing up, were 3 indentations, where the finish on the wood had been worn almost as if in a forceful grip. Something down there had grabbed it and threw it down. That was what the bang was. I was mortified. After that day, I never heard a single voice again. I do not like to imagine what was waiting downstairs for me that night. If it was anything at all, but I can tell you. Oh, wait, there was a comma there. My bad. I was never good at reading in school. This is why I dropped out. If there was anything at all. But I can tell you that the reality was that something had physically acted upon the 2 things in my house near the bottom of that stairwell. After this, I had never heard another whisper again, which is sad because in some ways I would have liked to thank the man, masculine energy, that had stopped me from going down those stairs. This happened when I was 7. I'm 20 years old now, and because of this incident, I'm still afraid of the dark, especially shadowy stairwells. I've got to say, first and foremost, hi guys, welcome to Uncover Paranormal. I'm Blair Woods. This is Bree Baby right up here. We are going over a story called The Whispers. It sounds to me like someone did actually break in, like going from a logic standpoint. It sounds to me like someone broke in and escaped, like by trying to like step onto that sink.
Yeah. Well, and that's what I was kind of wondering because, okay, so I will say that I believe that children are more inept to ghosts. I do. I agree with that 100%. So the fact that there might be something that would draw someone down there would be a thought in my head. And that's what I was kind of leaning towards until it got to the end when it was like, something fell. And I was like, okay, so now it just sounds like somebody walked in, had a light on, because there's no apparent reason this light should have been there.
Yeah.
Stuff was broken. And I'm assuming, like you said, either the kid was walking down, they heard him and said, hey, you go back to bed.
Yeah.
And even ghosts, I don't know, I just have a hard time believing a ghost would do that for any reason other than protection. But
Yeah.
I feel like it might have been somebody just caught in the act, and that was their first reaction because you could tell the difference between kids walking down the stairs and adults.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. I feel like it was definitely robbers. I know it says in the very end that they didn't have any proof that anyone had broken in. But from the fact that, there was a red light on, there was a deeper voice that didn't sound like the whispers that the guy had been hearing, that,
Yeah.
something had fallen. It sounded like almost maybe the guy was trying to escape. I have to wonder if there was a window above where this like dry
Where it
sink
was.
was. Because I feel like that he was probably trying to escape through that window. And I just with the Christmas flower lights also being like pulled down, I feel like the guy was just trying to get out because he had been caught.
Yeah. No, I can agree with that. Well, and that's why I don't know, the light confused me I just scared the heck out of myself. My light just reflected off my window, and I've never actually just kind of looked this way out the window. And I saw her lights, and I was
like, oh no! You were like,
yeah, I was like, you guys are on your own.
Who's that? What is that?
I'm not that person, y'all. I hear a bump. I'm 3 streets down out the window. Y'all can deal with it. I'll wait down there.
God. See, I also don't want to deal with it, but I'm the person that if I hear it, or especially if I see it, I ignore it. I'm just like,
Yeah.
I'm the cover-upper. I pull the covers up. I'm like, if you can't see me, I can't see you.
I'm the one that, like, if you're walking down the hallway in the night, and I hate stairs because I don't like that I can't see down them.
Mhm.
And just the thought in your head of looking down a set of stairs and there actually being something standing there, I'm always like this. I walk by the stairs. Nope.
That's how
I
I
don't
am
even
with
know the
mirrors.
stairway there.
Mirrors at night scare me so bad because I'm so afraid that I'm gonna see a reflection in the mirror that's not mine. So I'm just like, no, 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 no. I'm like out. If
Mirrors
I have to
don't
go to the
bother me.
bathroom at night, like I go into my bathroom and I'll flip on the light switch, but I'll be like this. I'll be like, okay, cool.
Just until the y'all having the light on solves everything.
It
I'm
does.
terrified of the
It
dark.
does. Because then you can see. That's my thing, though, is I'm not afraid of ghosts. I'm afraid of what I can't see. So if I can see it, it freaks me out, yes. But, like, I'd rather see it than
Yeah.
not, you know?
Yeah, because I'm terrified of the dark because of what I can't see there.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
it's the thought of not knowing what's actually going on in that space.
Exactly.
And I don't want to be in between that space and in my way out. That's
Oh my God, yes, I know. I feel like too, I don't know if you've ever experienced this, but as a female, there's been a lot of like creepy things from just regular humans at night. I've gotten held up at knife point before. So, you know, there's been a lot of creepy things that have happened at night that are scary. And so I think that kind of also adds to the fire because I'm just like, no, I don't want
I can
anything
agree
to
with
do
that.
with it. Like, I'd rather it be a ghost than a human.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
Yeah.
I'd rather something I couldn't explain than actually looking and then seeing like a grown man in my house.
Yeah, I would. I've seen ghosts in my house, and this is kind of like I've seen the angel of death twice, and I just like kind of look over, and it was staring at me, and this happened on 2 occasions, and I literally would just like look over and be like, "So we're doing this."
Yeah.
Okay. But then whenever it's like a man or anything like that, I think I've never had obviously like a home invasion, thank God, like knock on wood. But I feel like if anyone were to ever like invade the house and I like see like a full grown man in that house that's like not my dad, I would probably like crap my pants, like honest to God, like
Yeah,
no
because
cap. Like
yeah, and because this is the thing, y'all. You don't think about everybody thinks about, well, what would happen if, you know, I have firearms in my home. I have a security system in my home. I have three very large dogs in my home. If somebody broke in, the chances of that happening that I wouldn't know about it before I got out of bed are like slim to none. Like my dogs are not quiet.
yeah.
But
We have
I'm
two
like,
dogs and we have guns in our house too. So I and the guns are obviously with my dad, but like I have faith that if anyone were to break in, like sorry
you'd
for
be
you,
good.
the dog's getting you or my dad's getting you, but either way.
Yeah, see, and I'm kind of like, my only thought is it's like, what if it was that one person that got in? What if, because y'all, I'm crazy like this, I'm like, yo, if Jackie Chan can get through a closed window and not make a noise, y'all, anybody could break into my. I'm that person that's like,
God.
I walk in
Jackie
and I'm like,
Chan is like special forces though.
but I'm that person that's definitely like, when I left, was that in that exact position? Was it turned? Has somebody moved it? I'm like,
See
and then
now
I let my
I
dogs
don't
out of the
ever
kennel
think
and I'm like,
about that, but I'm going to now. I'm gonna like see something and be like, was that always like that? Was that always moved? Like I never think about that. I always am just like
that's what I do.
so scary. I'm reading all the comments to like catch up. Someone said an angel had told them, wait, where's Rox at? When Rox was 6 years old, an angel told her brother to go to the room and someone that night had broken in.
So that's my question. Do you believe in like guardian angels and stuff like that?
Oh, I totally do. I don't. So the thing with me, because I'm still like figuring life out, you know? So I'm not
Okay.
necessarily religious. I'm more spiritual than anything, but I do believe in good and evil 100%. I do believe in spirit and the spirit, and I do believe that there is something watching out over us. I do believe that we have our past loved ones watching out over us. Um, I think that it's like a good like
Yeah.
mix, you know?
With as much bad there's in the world, there's 10 times that good.
Yeah,
It's just
absolutely.
what you
Absolutely.
accept in your life. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely. Miss Tigress, I feel like if you don't have a loved one that died, I feel like you still have people watching over you, maybe like past family members that you didn't even get to meet, that were in your heritage, that were in your line. We all have that, obviously. It goes back thousands of years, millions of years even. So I feel like we have those energies like watching over us for sure. Um,
Sorry,
that
I
can,
don't mean to get you off topic. I apologize.
no, you're good. You're good.
I get into this.
No, it completely has to do with this because I guess this guy had a little guardian angel Santa Claus watching out after him.
Or a
uh,
crazy drunk dude in the living room. Either one, you know.
either way. That being said, I welcome you guys to Uncover Paranormal. We do this every Wednesday at 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We've got Bree Baby in the box right here. Do not forget to favorite Bree Baby. Bree Baby, I'm gonna let you have the floor. It is your time to shine. Tell us your scariest ghost story.
So,
I'm gonna make you large.
oh God, you don't have to.
Oh, we do. Oh, we do.
So, my family is actually born and raised out of Derry, New Hampshire.
Okay.
It's a
Oh,
very old farming town. What?
wait, but isn't that the it place?
No.
Okay.
No, that's not where the Pennywise story was made. No.
Okay. I was like, is this where that's going? I'm scared.
No. No. So, before it was all actually Micmac territory in that area and a couple other tribes. The story that I grew up with is so there was a woman that ran away with her child from an abusive situation. She ran into a group of Indians, Native Americans, in the process of them kidnapping her. Now, I'm Native American, so y'all don't freak out yet. In the process of kidnapping her, the baby wouldn't stop crying that she had with her, to the point where it was giving away where they were because there were people looking for this woman. So the baby was killed and its blood was left on trees around
Oh.
as kind of a warning of what had happened. So years later, the story is that my grandmother's house was built with the trees that had happened in this area. It's a very, very small area, very small community. So growing up, my mother and my aunts and uncles would all hear and see things all the time.
Okay.
Lights would turn on and off, but the one consistent thing they would always hear is a baby crying.
Oh.
Always. Now, I remember being extremely young. I was like 5, maybe 6.
Okay.
And my grandmother was watching me one day. And she had, like I said, it's a very old house. Everything was very creaky. But we kind of grew up going there all the time. So it wasn't a big deal. We were always there.
Mm-hmm.
One morning, my mom dropped me off. And my grandmother was in the kitchen cooking eggs and bacon and some other stuff. And me and my sister were in the living room. And we were in the living room playing with, just toys sitting on the floor.
Mm-hmm.
And the basement door creaked open.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
No reason. Now, my sister remembers it, and it's kind of one of those things. She's like, no, there had to be something else. It just, maybe one of our toys got stuck down there. Maybe there was a cat. She does not believe in ghosts at all. She thinks I'm nuts. She was there, though, and she will confirm. She's like, the door opened, and all we could hear was a baby crying.
I'm out. Bye.
And both of us went to our grandmother and was like, Grammy, there's a baby crying downstairs. The baby's crying. My grandmother went over to the door, shut it, and deadbolted and told both of us we were never allowed down the stairs.
I would have done the same thing.
Now, growing up, I asked because I was like, I remembered it. So I asked my grandmother, I was like, do you remember when this happened? She's like, no, that never happened. And I was like, Grammy, I remember it happening. Like, I remember you deadbolting the door. We weren't allowed downstairs. She's like, the basement just had things going on. You didn't need to be down there. It had too many tools and stuff. And I was like, Graham, like you the lights would turn on and off. She's like, yeah, that would happen, but there was no baby cries. All of my aunts and uncles though heard it all the time.
Oh.
So there were 6 kids in a house, and all of them confirmed they could hear it all the time.
Oh, hell no.
My aunt lost a child while living there. And she still, to this day, wakes up and sees an imprint on her bed, the size of like where a baby would lay. At the end of her bed, it happens every couple of years to her still. But the first time it happened was in that house.
Heck
And
no.
I'm like, I got goosebumps, y'all. I don't like talking about it because I've got kids.
Yeah.
So it's a very, very scary thing for me.
That's terrifying.
But years later, I talked to my mom about it, and she's like, yeah, she's like, Grammy just couldn't handle it. That's why they ended up moving. My grandmother could not handle hearing it. So she ended up moving out. Well, when they were moving out, they were cleaning out the basement.
Oh no.
And in the basement, they were pushing like doors, or they were pushing drawers off of a bookshelf.
Yeah.
A bookshelf opened.
Mm-mm.
In this room, there were all kinds of like kids' toys from like late years, like later than what my mom's 65 now. So my mom's like, we don't know who put them there because it was her grandmother's house and her grandmother's house. And the house still stands today. It's still in Derry. Whenever I go visit my hometown, I drive by it every time and I get chills. And
that's more terrifying than the It Clown Derry. Okay. Tigress, no. You can go. She wants to go so bad.
But yeah.
I've got to say, I'm going to pass on visiting that house for sure. It sounds like there's probably a bunch of angry spirits there. The baby's probably angry, honestly.
Yeah, it's weird because like I said, I'm very like into the mindset of it's got to be something else. Like before I jump on the ghost factor, I'm going to be like, what could it not be?
Yeah.
But experiencing so young, and literally I remember bringing it up for the first time when I was like 10 or 15 with my sister.
Yeah.
I was like, I have this memory. I'm like, but do you remember this? And she's like, yeah. Like, yeah, and Grammy locked the basement door and told us to stay out of the basement and never go to the basement.
I wouldn't have even cleaned out the basement. Like when they were moving out, I'd have been like, nah, whoever buys this house can have whatever's in the basement. I don't care. Like, but
yeah, it's a very sketchy story, clearly because of everything that happens in it. And it was passed on through my entire family for years and years and years.
That's terrifying.
Yeah, so I kind of wish I could like find something that like my great great grandmother would write about it because she was the first one in the house. So that would be amazing, but I haven't found anything yet. So
that'd be really cool if you do find anything, let me know because I want to know. I want to know like if she like knew, if she like had theories or like what her experiences were.
Yeah, because well, that's the thing. My grandmother, obviously, she believed in ghosts, and she would acknowledge, TVs turning on and off,
Yeah.
She remembers one night she was having a friend stay with them at this time, and the woman was actually out and she thought she was home and had the TV up all the way. And when she went into her bedroom, there was nobody in there.
That's scary.
Yeah, so there was a lot of odd things that happened, but nothing so determinedly negative. But to me, there had to have been something that would push my grandmother to be like, don't ever go near the basement door again.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And to have like a deadbolt on it, because I remember it was like one of those old school ones that you slid in.
Yeah,
So I'm like, there had to be something very odd going on with it.
something for sure. Especially when you said deadbolt, especially because you said it was an old house to begin with. That's the deadbolt like that I thought of too. Whenever you said that, I was like, it's probably one
Yeah.
of those like old like
And it
creepy
was,
that you find in a creepy old house. I'm so dead.
yeah,
Bree, that's insane. Thank you so much for sharing that.
no
I,
problem.
dude, that's
I'm
scary.
sorry for sharing it at the same time.
We're
If y'all
gonna,
hear anything in the night, my bad.
oh, it's okay. It's all good. That's this the show is all about it. They know, you know, you
Yep.
know. Guys, welcome to Uncover Paranormal with Blair Woods. We've got Bree Baby in the box right over here. She just shared a chilling, terrifying story that I probably won't stop thinking about. Um, I, I will probably a week from now be thinking about it and then message you and be like, Bree, but I
It's
gotta ask. Like there
it's
will be
funny because
questions
our
following.
whole family knows about it, but it's not something we talk about with a lot of other people. So I was like, this is kind of a fun moment to actually say about it and like get it out there. And
Thank
I
you
told
for
my sister this
sharing.
morning I was gonna tell you guys about it, and she's like, that she's like, she's like, I can't talk about that. She's like, you're insane. You're insane. Don't ghosts aren't real. That was just something. And I'm like,
I'm dead. I'm dead.
well, what
So
was it?
I have quite the small it's a small ghost story since we have about 10 minutes left, and it's just a little nugget of fun for you guys. As we know, hi, I'm a clairvoyant. I don't do ghost readings. I will not do a spirit box with you. I don't like my gift. I'm not a fan of it. I don't want it. If I could give it back, I would. It's creepy. I'm not a fan. On the bright side, though, I have gotten to have more special moments with past loved ones because of it. So I am thankful for that. It just freaks me out because seeing people that shouldn't be there is not okay. It's weird. It's like, I just went to your funeral. Why are you sitting right there? That's weird. Like,
Yeah.
very strange. But when I was a lot younger, so around the time that my grandfather died is when I started to really like figure out that I could see ghosts. And I thought at first that it was just, me mourning. But after years went by, I realized that this is not me mourning. He is visiting me. Like I would get visits from him in random places that it's like, why are you here with me? Like, thank you. Like, I'm glad to see you. But like, what's up? Like, what do I need? What's happening? What do I need to know? But so basically, I kind of developed that at a young age, around like sixth, seventh grade for me. So it's about like you're 12 or 13 years old. If I had any experiences when I was younger, I don't really remember them. I do remember one, however, in the 10th grade that I had. And this was like kind of outside of seeing like my grandfather or any past loved ones. And we were talking about kids earlier, and it brought this one up because I don't think I have shared this one with you guys. And if I have, if you guys have heard this one before, just bear with me. I'm sorry, you guys have probably heard this one before. I don't know which ones I have and haven't told. But so basically, I had an ex fiance. So at the time, him and I had been dating for like 4 years. And when we first started dating in 11th grade, 10th and 11th grade, like around that like time frame, I would always go over to his parents' house for Monday. Like we had like a family dinner thing, and they always invited me because I, was around all the time. So give it like a year, and at this point I had been going to Monday like family dinner nights for like a year at this point. So like I was there, I knew the family, like we've been dating for almost 2 years at that point. So um you know at at the moment in time, he had a niece named Bella, and she was, I think, like 2 years old at this point. And so she was saying how she didn't want to go to the grocery store because his mom wanted to go get some more stuff before dinner that night. And so he said, I'll go with you, whatever. And then they were like, I had to do homework. So I was like, I'll stay here. I got to finish my homework. So I stayed in the house, and Bella wanted to stay with me because I was her Aunt Blair. I'm going to say Blair because I almost gave away my real name. Love it.
I was just like,
So her Aunt B. We'll call me Aunt B. So I was her Aunt B, and so she wanted to stay with me because she didn't want to go with the boys and her aunt. Or her grandma. She wanted to stay with me. So I was like, yeah, no, that's fine. She can stay here. We'll chill. It's whatever. And so we've always heard in the like attic of his house like footsteps, and there's never animals up there, there's never people up there. So I always like joked. I'd always be like, hey, like there's like someone up in your house, like, I'm gonna call his mom, Shelly. Hey Shelly, there's someone up in your house. And she would always be like, there's nothing but angels here, honey. And I was like, all right, whatever. I get a feeling that there's not, but whatever. Like, if it's not affecting you, then it's not affecting you. That's not her real name, by the way. I'm not giving out real names. None of the names in this story are going to be real. So so that being said, we were together, me and Bella, with her Aunt B. And we were together, just chilling on the couch. I was doing my homework, and so she starts running off to the dining room. And so I like, kind of looked over. I'm not a kid person, by the way. Like, I don't really know how to babysit kids, but I said I would because I loved her. So I was just like, okay. So I like just kind of like looked up. I was like, what you doing? And she was like laughing and stuff in the dining room. So I was like, there's really expensive china in there. I should probably check on her and see what she was doing in the dining room. So I go to the dining room, and this is a pretty big house, by the way. So like it took me a little bit to get to the dining room, but she was still just running around the table in there. And I'm just like, oh my gosh, she's gonna knock something over. Oh God. So I picked her up because she was little. Hey, stop. Hey, stop. Sorry, my cat. So I picked her up because she was little. And so I like put her on like the table, and I like sat her down, and I looked at her face to face. I said, what are you doing? Like, you're going to break something in here. You're going to get me in trouble. You can't do that. And she started laughing, and she was just like, they told me to come in here. Like in her like little kid voice. I don't know how kids thought. Obviously, like it's not like complete sentences, but along the lines of they told me to come in here. I guess my cat's going to join us too.
I was just looking at you, I was like, please tell me something just ran into that.
Waffles. So everybody say hi to the kitty. So this little girl looks at me because I asked her, I was like, who told you? Like who? Like what? What are you talking about? And she like starts looking off into the corner, like she's like looking this, like I'm facing her, and she goes, hey, he said I can't tell you, and like just starts laughing. And I'm like, who? Who said I can't tell you? Who said you can't? And like I'm looking everywhere. I'm like, who? Mind you, this girl's like super young. She's a little kid. I'm like getting chills now. She's laughing in the creepy little kid laugh. Like it gives me goosebumps to just say it. Hate it. It's like, ooh.
Oh.
But she like was just laughing and kept laughing. So I called my dude. I was like, hey, you and your mom need to get back home. Like now, I'm not babysitting ever again. Like, do not leave me alone in this house with this little child. And his mom was just like, what's wrong? And I was just like, you've got demons in your house, Shelly. You've got demons. That's what's wrong. And she was like, we got nothing but angels. I said, I don't know what you're talking about. But Bella over here says that someone told her something to go into the dining room. And then when I asked, she said that she can't tell me because he said not to. So I was like, you get back here right now.
Yeah. Like, I'm good for that.
They probably did think I was nuts, but like literally I was like, I told them, and they continuously would ask me like, are you sure you don't want to stay in the house alone? I'm like, no, I don't. I really don't. Like I'm good. Like even I wouldn't even stay in the room like alone. Like if I'm gonna what's a good name for him? We're gonna call him Aquafina. That's not his name, but my ex Aquafina. That's the first thing I saw. So if Aquafina left the living room and there was nobody else in the living room, I also left the living room. If Aquafina had to take a shower, I would stay out where his mom was, wherever his mom was at, or I would go outside if his mom wasn't home. Because sometimes we'd be there waiting on them early, and he would go to take a shower after baseball practice, and I'd be just be like alone, so I'd chill outside. I'd be waiting outside, and Shelly would come through. Shelly would just be like, "Why are you waiting outside?" I'm like, "Because your son's in the shower, and I'm not gonna be in that house alone. You
No,
kidding?"
I don't blame you on that.
It was freaky. It,
There's
it, it was the footsteps and then the confirmation of something being there for me that really sold it. I was like, nah,
yeah.
nah, like, no, thank you.
Well,
Well, thank
that's
you,
it.
Bree, for coming in and being in Uncover
Thank you for having me.
Paranormal. Thank you for sharing your story. I'm so sorry my cat is being crazy. What are
You're
you doing?
fine.
This is not the time, ma'am. Schedule another time, please. Um, so thank you guys
Um,
for attending Uncover Paranormal. We do this every Wednesday at 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Please don't forget to hit favorite with Bree Baby. Don't forget to show her love really fast, guys. She's an
guys, I
amazing
appreciate
streamer.
y'all.
Thank you so much. Thank you, guys. Yes. Show her
Thank
love.
you, sweetheart.
Bree.
I had an amazing time. Thank you. Y'all make sure if y'all came in here with that orange in your name, please hit Blair with that fave if you haven't done it already. All right.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you guys.
Okay, guys, I am going to hop off just a second because obviously I can't stay on with the stuff with my show. But we are gonna have some singing. We're gonna do this little singing stream in literally 5 minutes. So I'm gonna hop off and hop back on really fast, and I'll see you guys in 2 seconds. Don't forget, Uncover Paranormals every Wednesday at 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We do different topics. We do different calibers of topics. We do different types of debunking and theories. Anything that falls under paranormal, anything that you can't explain, that is what we cover. I'm a clairvoyant myself. I absolutely love doing this. This is the most fun. If you guys have any questions at all, please don't be afraid to ask them ever. If you guys want to be on the show, please message me on my Instagram. My Instagram is at the Blair Woods, Blair Woods. And of course, don't forget to find me on Spotify. I am a singer songwriter. Thank you guys, by the way. We are at about 70,000 streams across the board on my Spotify. So thank you guys so much. That is insane. I cannot believe that we're at that level. So that being said, I do answer questions, love, but whenever we are doing a show, I try to pay attention to my guest. I'm going to go ahead and hop off and then hop back on, and I'll see you guys in literally like 2 seconds. Kenny, thank you for the roses. Thank you guys so much for being here. I'll see you guys in 2 seconds. We're going to do a singing stream. I'm going to sing for you guys. Love you guys. Have a good night. Be kind, be safe, be positive. Keep that positive energy for you guys all the time.